My name is Daniel Berlin. I'm the lead world designer working on Battlefield 1 out of DICE Stockholm.
Dan, tell us what you're showing here at the Battlefield event.
We're showing you the unveil of the next step in the Battlefield franchise. We're showing Battlefield 1, which is set in World War I, the dawn of all-out warfare.
Now, in a world where people are going to futuristic warfare or modern warfare, what was it like stepping back in time as a designer?
It was great. I really want to stress that this is a passion project for DICE. We chose this setting because we were so passionate about this particular setting, and it had such a great fit for the Battlefield pillars. It really fits perfectly in the multiplayer sandbox that we wanted to pick. But it's been a lot of learnings too, you know, because there's so many preconceptions about what this era was and what this war was. But people are surprised, and I was surprised too, about like, oh, all these varied locations, you know, to be up in to fight in the trenches in the Alps, or to be inside and fighting in French cities or in the desert. And there's just so much to this really global conflict, and there's just so much stuff for us to dive into in terms of weapons as well, and vehicles and variety. It's just so rich. So we've been able to maintain, you know, the core pace and core gameplay of Battlefield.
Let's talk about the vehicles, because I saw horses, tanks, and armored cars.
Yeah, no, so we're going to have a wide breadth of vehicles available. You're going to have heavy tanks, light tanks, armored trucks, biplanes of different sorts, such as bombers and scouts, and also you can man a huge battleship sitting out in the ocean and just completely obliterate the shoreline. And as you saw in the trailer as well, there will be a horse, yes.
Talk about that you guys have classes in the game too.
Yes, it's the same setup as a classic Battlefield game. We want rock, paper, scissors to work, so we have classes in the game. I can't go into specifics though of how we will structure these classes, because we're still working on the game and we're still throwing around weapons and, you know, making it feel balanced and making you feel like you are playing your class when you're in that class. So we can't go into specifics of, you know, this class is this and it has these things just yet.
Were there any limitations going back in time when designing the game?
I thought there would be, but actually there hasn't been. It's just like this era is just so full of so much cool stuff that it was. I think the biggest problem we had was just like basically choosing what to depict, because there's just so much stuff to choose from. Like I said, you'll be able to have pistols and semi-automatic rifles, fully automatic rifles, bolt-action rifles, and just how we are mixing the old world with the new industrial era, and those two gameplay elements mixing, and it makes something really unique for Battlefield 1.
What does your team learn from past Battlefield games, including ones you didn't work on like Hardline, that they're applying to Battlefield 1?
There's been a lot of learnings. I think it's a constant learning curve. It's just such a big game, and there's just so much things you can do, and there's so many systems that we continuously expand upon. And we're really relying on the power of Frostbite, the technology, to just look at all these things. Just like, how do we bring destruction to the next level, and how do we bring team play to the next level? But I can't go into any specific details of like systems at this point that we're doing, but I can say that we're taking a look at basically everything in the Battlefield formula, and we're just looking, okay, how can we make this even better for the player?
Now, I noticed that the combat is a lot more close up. It's not like, in past Battlefield games you could snipe someone halfway across the map. Everything in the gameplay, including the sniping, was a lot closer than we're used to.
So we actually, it's a Battlefield game, and it's a sandbox. So you will be able to take those long-range sniper shots if you want to, but you'll also be able to just like, I'm just going to go with my bayonet here on my rifle. I'm just going to bayonet charge and go hand in hand. So it's pretty much up to you how you want to play the game, and the era really supports all the different play styles that you could think of.
So when does the game come out, and what platforms will it be on?
So the game will be out on October 21st, and it will be out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. We'll have an open beta rolling out later this year.